In this movie, Jason Statham, he is a carpenter, and I hear in the next movie he's going to be a plumber. All right? So anyway, let's review A Working Man. Working Man stars Jason Statham, Michael Pena, and is directed by David Ayer. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new 2025 review. I just did a trailer reaction for Final Destination Bloodlines, and I figured, why have to change my whole setup? I'll just do it right here. So this isn't my normal review setup. This is what the setup I usually do for trailer reaction, because I'll usually have a computer and I can watch the trailer right there. But wasting your time, I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to do the review right here. And if you like this setup, let me know. I don't care. Jason Statham, I think, was it last year he had The Beekeeper? And it was fun. And cut right to the chase. If you like The Beekeeper, then you'll probably like this movie. But I'm going to dig deeper, and I'm going to tell you my likes and dislikes about the movie for sure. So let's get you going with a nice, quick plot synopsis. Jason Statham, he plays a carpenter. Does it really matter what his name is? I think it's Levon or something like that. They don't really say his name that much in this movie. It's Jason Statham, okay? That's pretty much, that should be his name in every movie he does from here on out. His name should be just Jason Statham. His boss is played by Michael Pena. Again, he's a carpenter. They have to throw in a nice little fight scene at the very beginning of the movie on the job site. These very one-dimensional, stereotypical thugs, they are picking on one of his workers, and he beats the shit out of like 5 or 6 of them, okay? And I think that's just a pacing thing. They want to throw, they want to start you off with not really a bang, but just a fight, right? But jumping into the plot of the movie, Michael Pena, his daughter in the movie, which I'm surprised they didn't make it Jason Statham's daughter, because he does have a daughter in the movie who kind of slips in and out. But the person that he's trying to save is his boss's daughter. And then there's like a sex trafficking angle of this movie. This movie feels very similar to Rambo 5. Because remember in Rambo 5 when he has to go to Mexico to save his... I still don't... She wasn't his daughter, okay? She was his housekeeper. I can't remember... housekeeper's daughter or something like that, but he loved her like a daughter, right? So he goes to save her because she ends up in Mexico and she's thrown into the sex trafficking world. So that is pretty much the same plot of this movie, But to be fair to the movie, a lot of these action movies with these, it's always like a revenge angle, right? Or somebody has to be saved. That's not a complaint. We expect that from most of these action movies with Jason Statham and even like Stallone. But to get to her, he has to go through a bevy of the dumbest freaking members of the crime underworld that are possibly imaginable. And you are going to be laughing your ass off all the way. And this movie is way too long. I'll start you off with the just a quick con, because it's a big con about this movie. The acting is bad, but also the characters are just like cartoon characters. They're so freaking one-dimensional. It's a movie you can laugh at in a good way, because I saw this in a packed theater, and a lot of these lines that these cartoon character villains were spitting out that were supposed to be taken seriously, although I'm sure David Ayer knows what the gig is here, okay? Just to give you an example, and by the way, it's a Russian, group of the crime underworld, but just to give you an example, one of the characters, he looks like Fabio, and he doesn't look menacing at all. Some are small potato. I am a big potato. And the entire theater erupted, and that was supposed to be like kind of a menacing type scene. It wasn't really meant to be funny, and there's a lot of scenes like this in this movie that aren't meant to be funny, but you will be laughing your ass off. And I think the drunker you are, like if you drink, then you're in for a treat, because the drunker you are, the more fun this movie is going to be. The first 2/3 of the movie are quite horrible. Like, quite horrible. And so much so that I was just like, oh my God. It's hard to take this movie seriously, because Jason Statham is pretty much doing, a stoic, very stoic performance throughout. He doesn't have much of a personality. He's, a war veteran, not to be messed with. And don't get me wrong, we love those types of characters. That's all we ask of Jason Statham in these movies. And I'm a Jason Statham fan. I love Snatch. One of the crime underworld guys is played by Jason Fleming, who was also in Snatch. And that is a fun scene because he has him next to his swimming pool and he's got his chair like tilted over. And it's always fun to watch Jason Statham torture people, I guess, in these movies. I don't think there's enough fighting up to a certain point, but this movie is really saved, and I have to stress this, by the awesome last act. Once it's go time and the shit hits the fan, and we finally see his boss's daughter, then this movie gets really fun. And she is a big part of why it gets really fun, because earlier in the movie, she's asking him to teach her some moves, which he never gets to teach her some moves, but all of a sudden she, like, instinctively is able to kick ass in the last act. I don't know how that happened, but the young actress that's playing this part, you buy it because she just seems like she's so into it. She's really having a good time with this character, and in this type of movie, I think you give a lot of leeway, and you can enjoy just the insanity that's going on. And I can't stress enough how violent and fun and chaotic the final act in this movie is. If that final act wasn't here, then this movie would be just complete. I would be calling this absolute trash if that final act wasn't here. But because of how fun that final act was, I'll give it a humdrum. I'll definitely give this movie a humdrum. It's definitely not perfect at all. Oh my God, it's the most farthest thing from perfect a movie like this can ever be. And I'd even say The Beekeeper, structure-wise, is a much better structured, put-together movie than this. This is way too overstuffed with laughable characters, and most of them can't act for shit. Okay, so that is my review for A Working Man. He doesn't do much carpentry in this movie either. Okay, I guess he didn't do too much beekeeping in the Beekeeper either. So you're not here for that anyway. But let me know what you guys think of A Working Man. I think you'll have a good time with it. So go see it with a packed crowd. I think you'll really have a good time with it then. And sometimes it's fun to watch these movies that people laugh at instead of with. Fun is fun, right? And I think you'll have fun with this. Be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day on Fridays, review on Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums, on my socials, support me on Patreon, become a channel member, buy me coffee. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and rum them out.